Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got a pretty good rack. All bingo-y tiles, but slightly too many vowels, which is problematic. Because if I play off just a couple of tiles, like OU, I'm scoring very little. And if I play off audio, then I'm playing off 5 tiles, so I'm wrecking the rack, and again, not scoring very much. But on balance, I think OU is good, and it's only really vulnerable to drawing vowels. I draw 1 vowel. This is quite a nice rack. One problem about playing a very short opening move is that opponent quite often plays a 2 or 3 letter play above it, thereby providing no floaters. So my rack is quite nice with floaters, but there are none to consider. So do I have anything through IO or NU? I don't think so. Then takes A, E and O after it. So I could play God. The trouble with that is the rack leaves slightly vowel heavy. But I think this is the right spot to play. So what else is on offer in this spot? Just playing off 1 more vowel would improve it. I could play IGAD. Well, surely GAD-I is much better. So GAD-I for 21. Yes, and I've got the S for going on the end of GAD-I. It also takes a D. Not great. This rack is slowly maturing away from a bingo. However, I can get it back on track, possibly with a play of oof or foo. Foo playing to the right of Gaddy, at the bottom of the column, and the top. Nothing very high scoring on offer. I don't think there are any 8s with this rack, although I will have a look at any available floaters should they be provided. New takes just a G in front. I can't think of any extensions of out that would reach the triple word square. Row J, I think the hottest spot on the board because it allows a bingo ending in S. And it wouldn't be giving too much away. Foo isn't going to score very much on the board at present. But still early days, and I have a 9-point lead. Just wondering if there may be an 8-letter play with this rack. F and double O. Not really helping it. I guess I have aloofness as a 9 through an L and an S. That's not going to become available. Opponent taking a while with this particular move. Now, row I also available for bingos ending N or S. So GAD-I has not created a new S ending lane in the sense that one already existed. Great, only 12 points for my opponent. Jin takes an N at the end, as well as an S. Nug only takes an S. So I still got foo. How much would adding the S score? 10 points. I think the S is worth about that on this rack, or probably even more in conjunction with AEN. I'm going with this. Well, I don't have a bingo. I do have the X and a couple of vowels. And I've retained the N for GINN. I guess column 12 is the spot that's leaping out for the X. Ox and Gox, both good. So I could play Lanx or Lax. Now, opponent took quite a while before playing gin. Could have had a tricky rack. Could have been close to a bingo. And certainly this is quite a bingo-friendly board. Gin has taken out one of the bingo lanes, row I, hooking IO. But the board is still available for 7-letter bingos ending S in row J. And also column 12 for the hooks of gin, which are G, K, N, and S, I think. Certainly only the N and S on my rack. Opponent down to 15 minutes, so playing quite slowly. Still 72 tiles in the bag. Now I've got a D for making gadded. So Dex also available as an option. Just wondering if I've got a 5-letter play beginning D and ending X. I don't think so. Through an A I would have Adnexa and Adnexal. If column 12 remains available, I quite like Lanx. It's giving nothing away. And the X is not available for my opponent to score of. Whereas a play of Lax would allow a parallel play making Oxo. Okay, opponent's gone there. Not too surprising. Canal takes nothing apart from an H after it, so he's blocked the board up somewhat. However, I could play Dex, which just invites a ladder down to the bottom, and suddenly the board becomes super tight. Not sure I want to do that. The alternative may be to play Lanx here. 28 points, keeping the board open, keeping a good rack leave. And I think I'll do this. There aren't too many S's and blanks in the bag. And it wouldn't be surprising if I did have a bingo next go. So it's good to keep a good bingo lane open. I'm going with this. Now, well, onto a Y, I would have Odyssey, I think. Possibly not. That might be just the 1D. However, it's not been a good pickup. I don't have a bingo with this rack. I could play Snye, S-N-Y-E, in row H. 33 points, that's not bad. Having the duplicate S means my opponent is less likely to have an S, but difficult to infer very much from his last two plays of Gin and Canal. Canal scored quite well, 30 points, so his remaining tiles could be anything. Column 14, a new bingo lane available, overlapping Lanx. Now I've still got a D for making gadded. So I could play DYE, keeping sods. That's not too bad. A play of Doi would keep the E. So although that would score less than Die, it would be a better rack leave. I'm certainly looking to play off the Y and one of the Ds. So I guess a play of Yod or Doys would do the job. Soddy is good. Can't see anywhere for that. Lanx has taken out the gin spot for plays which hook gin. If my opponent doesn't have an S, I think this is quite a tricky board to play anywhere. Wow, nice play. Nebulae, 22 points. Has he provided anything good for me? This U not particularly useful. Well, I guess I could just play Day, D-E-Y. 23 points. I've got body as a component part of a word. Can't see a bingo. Just looking at these floaters. Close to Dial. Now, there is a Y, so is Odyssey. It's only 1D, surely. Yeah. Yeah, that's the spelling. And that's not worth burning both S's to play. So DEOSS, not a dreadful rack lead, not a fabulous one either. No 7-letter bingo lanes for bingos ending in S available now. But the S is of value for hooking canal, so wow, just 23 points. Let's see, let me see what Snai scores. 33 points, pretty horrible rack leave. Just checking that there's nowhere for Soddy. Now the trouble with playing DEY is that I'm taking out a bingo lane. Row J. So, do I want to do that? What about playing Snod for 27? This rack leave is fine, and if I don't have a bingo I should have scoring potential, and I'm keeping the board open, which since I'm behind I'd like to do, and since I've got an S I'd like to do. I'm going with Snod. Okay, fairly bingo-y, very bingo-y apart from the Y. And a few floaters to consider. Do I have anything with the D? Can't see anything. What about the B? No. Nothing with the U. Now the L goes. Wow, nice bingo by my opponent. He's taken out 3 floaters. Just the Y left, not very useful. And no new floaters provided. So I'm now a bingo behind. That was a good spot, a bingo with 2 U's. I've got a Y for going underneath the M. Wow, I wonder if there is a 7-letter play here. Not that I'm seeing. And I can't see a way of getting the Y doubled and the word doubled without using the S. Deity. That does the job. It wrecks the rack. But 37 points is a good score, and I'm providing new floaters, and I want to keep the board open. And that is a good pickup. That's a really good pickup. So what do I have? Do I have anything with the D? Well, this rack looks like there should be something. I'm expecting the floaters in Deity to be taken out. There's still the 7-letter bingo lane in row J. So is there a 7 here? Sapiens through a P. Wow, all the floaters remain available. Is this my moment? E and I don't look good with this rack, so really it's just the D, and that duplicates the D of Snod. So does this rack make a bingo with a D? It'll be pretty high probability. Well, I'm not seeing it. Inceased, not good. Gosh, this feels just so close to a bingo. Well, it'll be a pretty howling blunder if I've missed one. But I'm not seeing it. Resilience with an R. But no other floaters. I think I've considered all of the floaters. 11 minutes on my clock, 40 tiles in the bag. Just looking at the E and the I, however unlikely they may be. There are 5 vowel 8s, hundreds of them. Okay, so I need to keep the board open. I can do that with ice. And what's nice about ice is that I'm keeping a Rackley which goes well with the floating Ds on the board, and they can't both be blocked. Still just trying to think in my mind if there's a bingo with this rack plus a D. Decanize, decanes. I'm not seeing it. Okay, I've got to let that go. Am I missing something much better this move? Because ice, although it's leaving open the existing bingo lanes, isn't creating a new one. And arguably playing off the I as well would improve the rack leave, despite what I say about this rack leave plus a D. I'm going with this. I draw the Z, which is good, and this rack looks good. Through a G, I would have agonizes. But I can't see anything with a D. Jot takes an A after it. I've got TE to consider, that doesn't help. OD, can't see anything with that. So, what can I do with my Z? I could play lays, taking out this D. I'm not sure I want to do that. I've got nays across the top of Jot, which creates no new floaters. So opponent would just need to take out the D. And, well, nays has the bad effect of taking out the nugs lane. So I'm looking for something better. I could play Zia on the bottom. 31 points. It invites a high-scoring play in return, but that requires my opponent to have an A, and there's only 3 A's left. And only 3 O's, so it would be a something OA high-scoring tile, M or K. So that's a very precise rack my opponent would have. More likely, however, is a play beginning below T, getting tripled. However, I am creating a new bingo lane. I'm keeping this D alive. I'm keeping row J alive. I'm only 50 points behind. I don't need to be reckless. So I think I'll play Zeta on the grounds that there are 2 good bingo lanes, column 15 and row J. As long as there are 2 bingo lanes which can't both be blocked, there's not a pressing urgency to create a new bingo lane when there are good moves like Zeta available. So, another rack which misses, I think. Onto a G, I would have sheafing. I am only 13 points behind, but opponent on turn, and both blanks still out there. Maybe worthwhile going for tile turnover. Now I've got the F for going next to Y, so I could play TEF. That would keep the scoring going. Just checking in my mind to see if I've got anything in column 15 onto the D. Don't think so. That remains available. Great. A way of, well, I was thinking about creating a new bingo lane by playing in column 5, but that would take out row J, which is a nice lane. So I think I'll just keep scoring with TEF for 32. Now, is there something here? Maybe something Polynesian. Not seeing it. Okay, nice play by my opponent. Only 25 points, could have been a lot worse. Close to skinhead. Wow, I'm thinking about playing Kane. For this reason, it's 27 points. My opponent's just played an S. There's only 1 S to come. So I may be able to score a lot next go in row O. 27 is not a huge score, though. 6 minutes on my clock and 25 tiles to come. Now I can play Kiner here for 31, turning over more tiles, drawing a play in column 15, keeping this 7-letter lane open. Very tricky. And I'm burning the A, which can make Jota with only 1 to come. I don't like Kane because it keeps 2 eyes. 31 points, 244. I'm fairly close to my opponent, but I'm inviting an easy 3-letter play in column 15, and I'm killing this D spot. Can I do better? I think I will play here. I like the score. And I think this will distract my opponent away from row J. Well, I'm not hitting the blanks, and I'm a very long way away from a bingo now. And 2 W's to deal with. Farn doesn't take an S, so column 15 is just available for 2 and 3-letter plays. And playing off the A means I no longer have Jota or 8, so I can't play parallel to Jot. And I would need an A or an E to play underneath odd. So all in all, pretty rubbishy rack. I've got wows. Only 23 points and it burns my S. Now, the tiles which go next to K are A, I, and O. Possible my opponent has none of those. And he may be worried about that spot. I could have played... Okay, he has an I, but he only scores 27 points, so I've survived that issue. Row J is still alive. 4 minutes on my clock, 18 tiles to come. Normally with scoring tiles, you can keep the scoring going, which is what you'd want to do if you're only 30 points behind. But I can't see a big score. I can play YO. It doesn't really open the board up, but it maybe provides an opportunity for opening it up in future. But is this really better than changing? What about burning my S? You know, the H is a nicer tile than the W, so it would be nice to play off both Ws. I could play WO, thinking to burn my S next go with the H and the W. If I pick an E, I could play Hughes for a decent score. Don't like that. I think I prefer YO. I'm worried about having 6 consonants. YO for 10. Finally an E. But do I have a 7-letter play ending in S? I don't think I do. I have an E for going underneath odd. I'm 20 points behind and opponent on turn. Okay, an opponent takes out my row J lane. So I do need to create a new bingo lanes. And at the moment there are no bingo lanes. So I'm not in a great position, 40 points behind and only 2 minutes on the clock. So what about playing Wive? 16 points. Wive takes an S in front. Opponent likely to have 1 of S and 2 blanks, but I think I need to do something volatile to have a chance of winning this game. Wive for 16. I have Rooster and Toreros. And opponent may struggle to block this spot without, well, without creating a new bingo lane in row B, but that would be if he played horizontally. He could just play down column 8, but that would be providing 1 floater, which may be all I need. Now, column 5 available for bingos ending in M. I have Roomster. That doesn't work. What if the opponent's got the Q? Well, if he's got the tiles, even with a blank, he could well play cheese, and that wouldn't help me. Does the I help me? I don't think so. It's not in a particularly useful position. The I is good for words ending IER or ING. Yeah. Okay. So 3 tiles in the bag. And opponent's 60 points ahead. Is there a way of creating a new bingo lane? Well, I think OR does that. Creates one in row I, and row C is available. However unhelpful that is, or however unlikely it is to have a bingo in I in penultimate position. So is there another way of creating a new bingo lane? Trod is good. No, I'm going with OR. I need thinking time. That's pretty much as bad as it could be. I draw the Q, dodge the I and the blank. So I've got Chi. The game is lost now. I think this may be the only spot for my Q. Yeah, can't see anywhere else for it, so I may be stuck with it. I got the T, so I would have cat through an I, but very few floaters on this board. Wow, nice bingo by my opponent. So 1 tile left. My opponent's got the T. Has he got 2 spots for it? TO and it. He has. So I need to jettison the Q. I can play Chi. And that's pretty much all I can do for 21 points. And that is the end of that wretched game. Final score, 299 to me, 420 to my opponent, a winning margin of 121 points. So well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. That was a painful game. So close to a bingo for so long. Did I miss one? Or more? Need to go fast. Audio was the option I was considering, and I went for OU, and I still have a tendency to prefer shorter words. Opponent's rack plays Van, and I play Gadai, and I think that's fine. Opponent's rack, he plays Jin, and I play Fu. Again, that looks fine. Not nice racks for my opponent, except he has a bingo. Canella doesn't play it, plays Canal. And I have Lanx, which is what I play. Opponent has Nebulae, which is a great spot. Now, did I miss something here? No. And I thought about Snod. In fact, I played it. So, yeah, I still think that's fine. Also thought about Sny, but I think Snod's a better play. Much better rack leave. This is another great play by my opponent, Mulchard. Now, very close to a bingo here. No, there isn't one. And I played Deity for 37. And at this point, I'm only 22 points behind. Opponent's rack. He plays Tie. Now, let's have a look at this one. Nope, no bingo. And I play Ice for 15. N6. That's really not good at all, providing easy access to row O. Well, it's not a disaster. Mike only takes an S. So possibly Ice a better play, but not much between them. The rack leave of A, E, I, N, S after my Ice goes well with the Ds on the board as mentioned. Opponent's rack. He plays Jot. my rack. Okay, what do I do here? I do Zidar for 34, keeping a good rack leave. 8 more points available, but at the expense of wrecking the rack. Where's that? A14. Yep, and creating a good spot in row A, so I prefer my play. Opponent's rack, Ha. And I play Tef here. Opening a bingo lane in row O, which I don't think I mentioned. But I've got the S and I've got a good rack leave and I am behind. So I think that play is fine. Opponent has 2 S's, so I think we both had 2 S's. He pays only 25 points, so could have been a lot worse. Now this Polynesian looking rack. No missed bingo. Hake K3. Okay, keeping INS. Yeah, and I'm only 30 points behind, so this would draw me level. Okay, as it happens, opponent has the other S, but I'm not to know that. Although possibly deducible from a play of Pays scoring only 25. Anyway, I play Kiner for 31. Well, that's only 1 fewer point than Hake. I prefer Kiner. Opponent's rack, he plays Gin. And now I'm 30 points behind. And this is where things start to go wrong. Because this is just horrendous. J5. Wows. Killing a bingo lane, not creating anything new. Don't like that, and not much of a score. So I play YO to start to develop the top of the board. There's still 16 tiles left. There are still 2 blanks. And it's retaining scoring potential for next game. Possibly suboptimal, but very difficult to determine optimality at this stage in the game when you're close to your opponent. Anyway, I play YO for 10. Opponent's rack. He plays Rum to kill this bingo lane, which was a good play. Oh, wow, look at that. Overswim. Overswim. There was a missed bingo. Agony. That would have taken me to 330, put me into a 30 or 40 point lead in a strong position. Wow, that's painful. That is painful. The over prefix is certainly one you should consider. That's not a hard word to see, so well done if you spotted that. I missed it. I play Wive. Opponent has... well, he's got the S and a blank. He plays Escape. Wow. Anagram of Roomster is Restroom. That plays. I saw its anagram. I didn't see Restroom. Wow. Okay, so a second miss bingo, and again, that would have drawn me level. With the Q still unseen. Okay, didn't see that. Played all. Opponent plays Orbiter, which is a great spot. And finally, I play Chi for 21. So, what a game. What a game. I had a lot of very bingo-y racks at the beginning, which there weren't any bingos there. And then right at the end, when I thought my rack had deteriorated and the board had tightened up, there were bingos and I didn't see them. So, pretty brutal stuff. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.